Okay, so I did not want to have this conversation, but we're going to have this conversation regarding Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, because my opinion here is that things are getting a little bit out of control. I want to read you a little bit, and then I want to show you some proof, and then we'll have this conversation, okay? So there's a channel on X called Wall Street Apes, and they posted up a little clip from a Candace Owens video, and I'm going to read it to you, okay? And this is what it says. Now bear in mind that a lot of things in the past that Candace Owens has talked about, some of them have been 100% accurate. Others, not so much, with no proof and things like that. And these are things we must always take into consideration when listening to anybody, myself included. I try to bring you guys as much proof and fact as possible. And if I can't, I tell you my opinion. This is my opinion. I can't prove this, because I think it's very important to state those facts. If you do not have the fact, do not state it as fact, right? So these are my opinions based off what I am seeing here from Candace Owens and others in regard to trying to debunk, I guess is the right word, the Charlie Kirk assassination. Okay, so let me read this to you. It says, Candace Owens discovered Turning Point was burning through much more money than they should have been, and Charlie Kirk wanted to know where the money was going. He sent out a memo to staff saying they would be doing an audit. It was sent out September 2nd, 8 days before his murder. This is the quote, there arrived a moment when Charlie felt that the money was disappearing. The excuses that he was being given for the money disappearing wasn't adding up for Charlie. The company was burning through cash too quickly, and Charlie set about finding out why and how this was happening. So on September 2nd, which is, of course, just 1 week before he lost his life, Charlie surprised the company by announcing that he was putting together a Doge department. Really kind of a nice way of saying, we're going to conduct an audit. This was an internal memo that went out, signed off by Charlie on September 2nd. And this is what Candace Owens has said on her channel. You guys can see her there. I'm not going to play her audio because she seems like the type that would, go after me for it. But I would like to say that this is her guessing. There arrived a moment when Charlie felt that the money was disappearing. How do you know that? Unless you spoke to Charlie Kirk about it, you are putting words in a dead man's mouth. And I have a problem with that. You are putting words in a dead man's mouth. The excuses that he was being given for the money disappearing wasn't adding up for Charlie. How do you know this? Did you talk with Charlie Kirk about this before the assassination? No, because you know what? You would have mentioned this a long time ago. This is something new that you were mentioning. There's also no proof of this internal memo being sent out. There's literally no proof of anything. This is all guessing or make believe. Who knows at this point what is real anymore and what is not? We talked about this, a few days after the assassination, that there's so much coming out that makes you want to believe this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie, this is what really happened, this is what really happened, this is what really happened. Who the hell knows what actually happened? Now, I do want to point out to you that there was a photo released by Candace Owens only, nobody else, a photo released by Candace Owens that said that the assassin, Tyler Robinson, was found at a Dairy Queen about 17 minutes away from the Utah Valley campus at 6:38 p.m. the day of the assassination. This is the picture that Candace Owens says that she has from Dairy Queen surveillance footage. And again, first question, why would you have Dairy Queen surveillance footage, but the police do not? Nobody else does. Nobody from Dairy Queen has come forward. Only you happen to have this piece of evidence. Very, very weird to me, but okay, we're gonna go with that for just a minute. And it says here, prolific conservative Candace Owens released an exclusive photo of Tyler Robinson at a Dairy Queen in Orem after the shooting at 6:38 p.m. Tyler can be seen in a maroon shirt, blue jean, hats, and sunglasses, which is not what they're saying he was wearing while on the roof, okay, number one. The Dairy Queen is reportedly about 17 minutes from the Utah campus. So then you pull up this map and you pull up the Dairy Queen that they are saying is the one in question. And then you come across these other posts that are now saying, Tyler Robinson's Dairy Queen suddenly gutted and emptied, closed, cleaned, and covered up. Suspicious shutdown of Tyler Robinson's Dairy Queen raises alarm. And then they're talking about how this Dairy Queen is completely shut down and it's been gutted and everything else. So I, of course, start looking for everything, trying to figure out what's what. First off, let me tell you, I did go to Grok and ask some questions because I wanted to see what Grok had to say. Since Grok is, pulling everything it has from the internet. It's pulling from posts of people like Wall Street Apes, like Candace Owens, like myself, like other people, but it will also pull from actual factual information, Yelp and Google Maps and Dairy Queen's headquarters and websites themselves. It will pull all this information. So I first asked, because I was curious, I said, let me see, I have a bunch of pictures that I sent myself here. I said, what is the address of the Dairy Queen where Candace Owens said that she has a picture of Tyler Robinson from? And it says it's the 813 East, 800 North, Orem, Utah. This is the address of the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Orem, Utah, referenced in Candace Owens' claims about the photo of Tyler Robinson. It's approximately 15 to 17 minutes from the Utah Valley University. All right, I'd like that to be known. So then I asked, is this thing closed down? And it says here, I asked about the picture first. It says Candace Owens shared an unverified photo on her podcast and social media claiming it depicts Tyler Robinson at a Dairy Queen in Orem, Utah at 6:38 p.m. on September 10th, 2025, about 6 hours after the shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. The location is roughly 15 to 17 minutes from the UVU campus. Neither law enforcement nor Dairy Queen has confirmed the photo's authenticity or timeline, okay? So then I'm asking Grok, it says Orem has multiple Dairy Queen locations, but this one aligns with the context of her statements. So then I ask Google, I go to a bunch of different places and I say, hey, has this location closed down? Because now they're saying there's all these people running that has been closed down, right? And gutted. And it says, no, the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill at 813 East, 800 North, Orem, Utah, 84097 is not shut down. It is still listed as open for business on TripAdvisor, Yelp, and Google Maps. While Dairy Queen has faced store closures in the past due to profitability issues with specific locations, there is no indication from recent reviews or official listings that this particular Orem store has closed. Okay, so I think that's important to note. So then I start looking, I pull up 4 days ago, there is a review on this Dairy Queen grill. This is the picture of the front of the location. Notice the location here. Look at that building. Please understand that that's that building. Then notice, let's see, that it does say that it's still open. Did I send myself the other picture? So then I find this video, all right? I find this video that is showing this, okay? It is showing this building, which looks nothing like the building that Candace Owens claims is the Dairy Queen that Tyler Robinson was at. This is the video that is now being circulated on social media, X specifically, saying that it has been closed down and gutted and they did it in such a hurry. Look at all the stuff behind it, everything else. This is not the right location. You see the building over there next to it, the buildings that you're going to see behind it in just a second. These are the incorrect ones. I forgot to send myself the picture, but I pulled it up on Google Maps and looked at around it. There is no building next to it. Hold on, let me see if I can bring this back here. Pause. Let me bring this back here. There is no, number one, that's a Brigham Young University sign on that light post, and that is whatever that says, Swig or Swipe or whatever building next to it. There is none of that next to the one at the correct address. This is not the correct Dairy Queen, yet people are taking it and running with it, saying it's been closed down, it's part of the cover-up, Candace Owens got it right, blah, 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 blah. Not accurate. The other location is still open. From what I can find, it is still open, and there hasn't been any closure. The videos that are running on social media right now are not even the correct Dairy Queen. The correct Dairy Queen, like I said, is a completely different address, still in existence, still open, nothing behind it. And this is why I say to everybody, do not believe every fucking thing you see on the internet. Just because somebody says it like it's real does not mean that it is. We have got to do better instead of just taking a little bit of information and running with it. If I happen to be wrong later on, and in the last 12 hours they have gone down and closed this one specific Dairy Queen, I'll be the first one to tell y'all, oh man, I fucked up. Somebody was right. It is closed. But the video that is circulating social media right now saying that this store has been gutted is not the correct one. It's a completely different building, a completely different address. That one's in Provo. The one that Candace Owens is claiming Tyler Robinson was at is in Orem. It's not even the same place at all. Number one. Number two, the whole thing with Turning Point USA and embezzlement is basically what it's coming down to, I'm assuming. There's no proof of any of that. So to her to sit there and put words into a dead man's mouth and to say these things is absolutely crazy to me. There is something wrong, my opinion, with putting too much faith in a person that is, how do I phrase it? That is financially, how you realize Candace Owens is making a shit fuck ton of money by making these videos and doing what she's doing. She's got people that are paying her to say things. She's got people that are, she gets advertisers, obviously. She gets the views. She gets people sending her money on these videos. I'm not saying that's why she's doing it, but you have to realize that certain conversations are had and certain things are said for the, oh my gosh, share this out. Make sure you watch this, the clickability of it all. And it's like, we have to remember those things. Yes, I will talk about the same topics, but I'm not sitting out there trying to get you, listen. There are some people out there who say, well, Michelle, you're no better than Candace Owens. You're talking about it. Well, I know, but we're having a completely different kind of conversation. We're having the conversation of, how do you know what's real? You cannot believe everything that everybody tells you. You have to have a little discernment in your life. You have to be able to step back and take the emotion out, which is, ironic for me to say since I'm super emotional about absolutely everything. But until there is proof of something, it's literally just a woman, trying to sell this as fact. And where's the proof? That's my question. Where's the proof of any of this? But when you have somebody like Candace Owens, and I don't like, dragging other people down or anything like that, or trying to put a bad taste in people's mouth on somebody else's name. That's not what I do for especially other YouTubers or anything like that. It's not my style, but whatever. But with Candace Owens, unfortunately, so many people take what she says as law, she's never wrong. She can't be wrong. She'd never lie. She would never misdirect anybody. She would never this, never that. For her to say that, there arrived a moment when Charlie felt that the money was disappearing. The excuses he was being given for the money disappearing wasn't adding up for Charlie. You cannot say that unless you talk to Charlie Kirk about it, and you did not. Therefore, that in and of itself is enough for me to go, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the direction that she's going with it. I don't like any of it. There could be, a legit internal memo. She shows this thing, but where's the proof that it's an internal memo? Where's the proof that it's real? This is my problem. Maybe it's just my problem, that I need more, because anybody can fake anything. You can make anything look legit if that's what you want to do. You can AI a video so it looks a certain type of way. You can have something written up so it looks a certain type of way. You could have somebody who is writing these things and inside, the foundation to make it look a certain type of way. Anything is possible. But I do not like the putting words in a dead man's mouth. I have a problem with that. And I do not like the fact that people are taking this video of a Dairy Queen that is, empty when it's not the right one, and running with it and saying that, oh, it's been shut down. It's another cover up for Tyler Robinson. Because now you have Candace Owens posting on Instagram that Tyler Robinson never went to his dad. His dad just turned him in. Tyler Robinson has claimed his innocence the whole time. Then he puts up how Tyler Robinson is not self-harm. You know what I mean? And they're putting out this narrative that he is self-harm. But it's how do you know? Are you talking to Tyler Robinson? How do you know where his brain how do you know what he is feeling mentally, emotionally? You're not talking to Tyler Robinson, Candace Owens. You can't know that he is or is not in a mental mind of self-harm. You have no clue. That's where I have issues with some of this stuff. She could be right. I'm not gonna lie. She could be right. This internal memo could be real. She could be right that that was a Dairy Queen that the Tyler Robinson kid was in. But it doesn't mean he was there on September 10th at 6:38 p.m. And it doesn't mean this internal memo is real. But she still put words in a dead man's mouth. And the people circulating a video of a gutted, empty Dairy Queen is not the right one. Little bits of facts matter, because those little bits help make up the whole. And if you're going to fuck around and mess around with little bits of facts and go, oh, that little bit doesn't matter, it messes up the entirety of everything. How can you have full facts when every little piece in there hasn't been checked? Anyway, listen, my eye itches right now. Hold on. It's crazy to me. And maybe it's just me. And maybe I'm wrong 100% in this. But I don't like the way it feels. And that's what it comes down to. It gives me the ick. And normally you pay attention to your gut. Your gut does not lie to you, right? And my gut is telling me that something is off with the way this is being pushed and brought about by the bigger names. And I don't like it. That's what I've got. I don't know. I just want you guys to be aware. Don't fall for absolutely everything. And don't share absolutely everything that you can't for yourself go, okay, I can see how this is real. That's it. That's all. I love y'all immensely. That's why we're having this conversation. I'm sure Candace Owens is great. I'm sure, right? She's probably a lovely woman. But I don't like the fact that she put words in a dead man's mouth. It bothers me immensely. And it immediately gives me this gut feeling of something's off there. So that's it. Okay. I love y'all. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Let me just add this in. I know we said bye, but let me just add this in. So I'm going to read to you the internal memo so that you understand exactly what I mean when I say that it feels like words were put into Charlie Kirk's mouth. This is what this says. If this memo is real, okay, number one, it does not say anything like Candace Owens is suggesting. It says here, Dear Team America, and yes, it was September 2nd. This is what it says. Effective immediately, Justin Strife is taking on a new elevated role with Turning Point USA as its Chief Operating Officer, COO. Since joining Turning Point USA in 2020, Justin has led Turning Point's fundraising division and in more recent years has been involved in some organizational operations, filling the COO role in many ways, but now officially taking on the title and expanded responsibilities. In this COO role, Justin will directly oversee development, events, finance, TP USA Faith, media/marketing productions, asset management, distribution, Turning Point Education, Blexit, which is part of where Candace Owens is part of Blexit also, HR and legal. Justin will also closely coordinate with Andrew Cipher on the National Field Program. In this role, I have empowered Justin, among other priorities, to engage in an organized-wide Doge effort. Justin will be assembling a small team to assist in the effort, which is focused on Turning Point USA 1, becoming more efficient, 2, becoming more cost-effective, 3, unifying organizational success around company-wide metrics and goals, and 4, reshaping company culture. I expect many positive changes to come from this forthcoming initiative in Justin's expanded role. Please join me in congratulating Justin on this new role in the organization. As always, thank you for everything each of you do for Turning Point USA. Now let's get back to work and save America. Where in that entire thing did it sound like he was saying that there was embezzlement and the money was being whatevered? And she made it seem like, y'all, I don't like how it sounds. I don't like how it looks. I have a problem with the way that whole memo was turned into something that made it seem like they killed Charlie Kirk because he wanted to change the way the money was going, which is, please understand, this is bigger than any of us, obviously, but it does not sit well in my gut. And I wanted you guys to have all of that memo so that you can think about it yourselves and say to yourself, do you feel that Candace Owens is doing the correct thing here with the way she's talking about Charlie Kirk lately? Or do you feel something is off, something is wrong? Okay, now again, for real this time. No, you hang up first. Anyway, I love y'all for real this time. Goodbye.